We reached out to the GBI this morning to try to get the name of that suspect, but so far they have not released it yet. Canaan Thor was a drug dog, so he would search cars for drugs. And in fact, he and his handler had just come off of a traffic stop moments before the accident. You need to stay off the roads. There's no sense in being on them because this is what could happen. Take a look behind me here. You can see we got a car here. Russian Americans and Ukrainian Americans are coming together over heartbreak and outrage. Come to the front door. It says store closed to severe weather. Now in the front, everything is okay, but let's take a short little walk here. Look at all this damage here. And I've been out here all morning long, and let me tell you, every time I look at it, I find something new in the rubble. Well, many restaurant owners say there's no question this raise is deserved. They do worry how this could impact their bottom line.
I'm Lauren Pozen. Here's some of what we're working on for you today.
The plumber just got here about 10 minutes ago because all morning long and yesterday this water was shooting up from the ground, and this is the damage. Look how thick the ice is on this tree branch. Follow the tire tracks here of the minivan. You can see this is where it crashed into the back of this garage.
Here's your Spectrum News 1 update. Rescue workers continue to search for survivors.
They are here behind me. You can see they are still working to put out any potential hot spots.
This isn't just a big deal for the players, but the fans too.
More than 100 firefighters are on unpaid leave because they refuse to get the shot.
You see some workers, they're laying some bricks down here, and then over here I want to show you, this is the actual sinkhole portion. I got it all broken down for you here. Big night for Joe Biden. He's in purple. You can see he just swept through the South. This is something I've never seen before, and I'm pretty sure you haven't either. Take a look behind me here. It's like we're in an alligator graveyard. Let me show you the star of the morning. It's right here behind me. That's the building. That's the one that's going to be going down in just under an hour. Check it out. On this section over here, we have the tray of fake blood. It's the cardiac kids all the way. One spray of this could save someone's life. Take a look over here. This is a panoramic painting. It's actually a lost art form.
Road conditions have been so bad there that you even saw a crash where you are.
Fred, these conditions are extremely dangerous. You need to stay off the roads. There's no sense in being on them because this is what could happen. Take a look behind me here. You can see we got a car here that is going to be towed momentarily up this hill. And Fred, this is just one of about a dozen cars that have been in the same predicament. So we have that going on over here. I want to flip you around the other way here, and you're going to see this ATV here. Now, the situation is that we're told that both sides of Highway 53 are closed off because of the snow conditions. Like I said, I saw dozens and dozens of vehicles stuck. I spoke with one driver who told me his truck went sideways. He was zigzagging and had to lock his brakes. His truck had to be towed out. And then another driver told me that he was able to get up through this hill, and then he saw another vehicle that was overturned. As I said, I'm told that both sides of this highway are not passable right now. And also what makes this, so dangerous is this particular point of the highway we're on, the cell service is very spotty. So even for myself, I've had a hard time communicating with the newsroom because you just can't get a signal out here. You can see here comes the car. It's being towed up right now. Just trying to get it out of the roadway, trying to clear the roadway, and just waiting for the snow really to stop because it just continues to fall down here. So Fred, we are going to stay out here. I'm not sure how we are going to get out, but we are going to try our best and do it very safely, and we'll have another update for you throughout the newscast. For now, live in Dawson County, Lauren Pozen, Channel 2 Action News.
Lauren, my friend, thank you very much, and of course we want you and your crew to be safe out there on the roadways.
I'm Lauren Pozen in Studio City with the story of how both Russian Americans and Ukrainian Americans are coming together over heartbreak and outrage with Russia's attack on Ukraine. Calling for peace, Evgeny Pomika says he came to California from Russia 5 years ago for a better life.
I was looking for freedom of speech, for a regular, normal life, when people should not survive, but just enjoy the life.
Following Russia's invasion of Ukraine, he says makes him ashamed to be Russian, and he wants Ukrainians to know he supports them and is disgusted with his former president, Vladimir Putin.
I cannot take it how you can improve the life of Ukrainian, pointing a gun, demolishing their house, their home. How you can expect that people who you destroyed will welcome you?
Evgeny, along with his family, joined hundreds of people on this street corner in Studio City to show their support to Ukraine. Maria Ivana helped organize the protest. She's Russian too and says she's heartbroken over what's going on 6,000 miles away.
We are friendly country with Ukraine, we brother country, and I know Russian people don't want war.
Speaking of the Russian community, Evgeny says he thinks that's where Putin's focus should be, not attacking Ukraine.
Now we just in face of unprecedented military actions backs, economical sanctions. There is no way to just solve it in that way. This is nonsense. This is surreal.
Another surreal sight, he says, is this demonstration, which is so much more than a protest, but Russians, Ukrainians, and Americans coming together, demanding peace.
Let me walk you through the scene here. Over here, all these homes evacuated. Behind me, you see this truck spraying water on the ground. And beyond that, that is where firefighters are focusing just some of their efforts. I'm Lauren Pozen in Fontana with the concern residents have. Smoke and fire filled the sky as firefighters battled the flames in the Lytle Creek area. With evacuations in place, many people couldn't get to their homes. That's what happened to Xavion Harrison and his brother, who just got off of football practice.
Waiting game until the fire goes down. Yeah, it's big. I didn't not expect to come home to this. Actually, I just was trying to go home and go to bed.
The blaze started around 1:45 in the afternoon and was burning near the 15 freeway in the area of Lytle Creek and Duncan Roads. This is right near where Danielle Campos' home is. She says she couldn't believe what she was seeing.
We watched it. It was small at first, and then it kind of went up, and it went all the way up the hill. They sprayed retardant all over the buildings.
Danielle took some video of the flames with her phone. So far, she says her home is not in the danger zone, but that doesn't lessen her concern.
We live near a field, and the field is like, it's a field just like this, full of brush, and that was my main concern.
Back with Xavion and his brother, they're staying on the side of the road watching closely. The rest of his family, they're staying safe at a local Starbucks.
It's actually crazy because we're from Duarte, California, so they have a lot of fires down there in the mountains too, so we're actually kind of used to this, but we didn't never expect it to be right here.
The hope for all the families evacuated is they'll be back home sooner rather than later. This is Narcan, and one spray of this could save someone's life if they overdose on an opioid like fentanyl. I'm Lauren Pozen in Pasadena with the disturbing new drug epidemic the CDC says is exploding because of the pandemic.
Test strips.
The chance to save someone's life if they overdose on opioids is inside this bag. Theo Krzyzewicki carefully places the items inside, from fentanyl test strips to Narcan, a nasal spray that can help someone if they overdose. He says hundreds of these kits go out a week across the country.
This is for the recreational drug user. This is for the person that is just, they use every now and then, their friends use. They may not use it all, but they know someone that does, and they just want to be safe.
Theo is founder of End Overdose. He says he started the nonprofit in 2017 to help people with addiction after his personal struggles with fentanyl. His nonprofit is on Colorado Boulevard, where he says he used to be homeless.
Relapse, I got kicked out of my sober living, and I didn't have anywhere to go, so I was actually sleeping on the street for a time.
The Centers for Disease Control says 64% of people who died of drug overdoses last year were from fentanyl. That's up from 49% the year before. Theo says a drug dealer introduced him to fentanyl, and soon after, he was hooked.
It's just like, hey, have you ever tried this before? It's really powerful. If you use too much of it, it'll kill you. And for me, that was really kind of like an upsell because it meant it was so strong I didn't have to use as much.
Now sober for 10 years, Theo says he got help at the Gooden Center in Pasadena. The center specializes in addiction recovery. Admission officials say they've seen a 40% increase in admissions, and they say every single one of the new patients overdosed. Program director John Murphy says isolation brought on by the pandemic is one of the reasons more people are overdosing. He says fentanyl is a synthetic opioid.
It's meant to sedate, it's meant to alleviate pain, and also present euphoria for the individual. It's highly addictive. In some ways it's really successful, but it's also 50 times stronger than heroin, and it is 100 times stronger than morphine.
Theo says he knows how hard it is to stop using, but stresses it can't be done alone.
There's no way really to just lift yourself up and pull yourself out. You have to include people into your process.
If you or someone you know is suffering with a drug addiction, Theo says he wants you to know there is help. You just have to ask.
It's the cardiac kids all the way. I'm Lauren Pozen in Torrance with this Cinderella story that's making SoCal proud. There is no doubt about it. This is a baseball family. Grandfather Mickey Yokoyama played ball back in the day. Now retired, his 5 grandchildren keep him busy. These baseballs are home runs his grandson, Gibson Turner, hit. Gibson is a pitcher and plays shortstop for the Torrance Little League. For the first time in almost 3 decades, the team clinched a spot at the Little League Baseball World Series in Williamsport, Pennsylvania.
This is something that's really, I think, I never thought. And at the same time, maybe a lot of the parents probably didn't think that way either. But there they are.
The road to the final stage of the national tournament hasn't been easy. It's been so rough, the team picked up an unofficial nickname, the Cardiac Kids. Gibson's older sister, Kennedy, let us in on the meaning behind it.
Like, all of their games have been really stressful, and they like to hold out to the last inning or two to where they actually start scoring runs, and makes it really stressful for the fans watching.
Gibson is named after Dodger legend Kirk Gibson, who hit a pinch hit walk-off home run, one of the most exciting moments in World Series history, Game 1 in 1988. Mickey says his grandson picked up the sport from an early age.
He's doing well, and I think we all kind of hoping that, he continues.
Like all sports, the pandemic has impacted the game. Players and coaches are isolated, and a limited amount of tickets for families. All eyes are still on the team right here at home with watch parties. During the game, no one took their eyes off the TV. Some tense moments, but in the end, the Cardiac Kids won 10-2 against New Hampshire. Mickey says his hope is the kids really enjoy every moment out there on the field.
Once in a lifetime event that's going to happen to them, so they will remember forever.
It's a moment Cardiac Kids fans will remember too.